Hi YouTube. Life can be pretty overwhelming. There are a lot of things going on, a lot of decisions that you need to take, and it's hard sometimes to be the person that you want to be, especially if you don't really know what that kind of person is or what that kind of person would do. And there's this nice technique or practice which is called personal mission or personal mission statement, which I want to elaborate on in this video, which can really help you to sketch that image of the person that you want to be in the various aspects of your life. So I will start off today by giving you an explanation of the steps to create a personal mission, give you a bit of background of what that is, and then I want to give a couple of very concrete examples of my own personal mission statement. I will not tell everything because it's quite personal, and I will actually work on making part of that mission statement to give you a very clear example of how you can implement that. Basically, in everyday life, everyone has a role to play. At any given moment, you are in one or multiple roles. What I mean by that is not necessarily that you are pretending to be someone else, but that can also be the case. What I mean by that is basically the role of a father, the role of a son, an employee or an employer, a boyfriend, a partner. These kind of things are all roles that we are fulfilling. So step one is basically kind of brainstorming with yourself, thinking what are the aspects of my life. Maybe you play in a team sport, you have a role of goalkeeper, let's say. So that is a role that you play. So you just make a list of all the things that you can think about. You can even make it more abstract. You can say, I'm a creator. If you like to do creative things, you like to make music, you can say, I'm a musician, or I'm an inventor, or I am a human being. So this takes it to the highest abstraction level, I guess, that you can. But this is the first step, and you can make it as abstract or detailed as you would like. In this step, you're going to take the roles that you define in step one, and then you're going to think about how would I ideally like to fill in that role. So very specifically, you can just open a Word document, and I will do that in a bit, and you can write down, I am a father, if you are a father, of course, and then you can write down what it means for you to be a good father. So you can write that down in the third person to say like a father is, and then later actually what is the most powerful way is to write that down in first person. So to say, I am someone who is reliable. Instead of saying a father is someone who is reliable, you say I am. So you're making it very personal in that way. But the second step is, just basically drawing on that. So you have the roles, fill them in to what you think you would like that role to be. And this is very simple. If you are not very good at summarizing, I haven't tried this, but you might even use ChatGPT, like fill in all of the roles with the intentions that you have, and then let ChatGPT maybe summarize it. But I would say it's a nice, also almost a meditative practice to reflect and summarize all of the roles that you are part of, and how can you collapse them into one or multiple statements. So for instance, also I have like an overarching statement for myself, and I also have a separate work mission statement. And I think that's fine because those are two separate aspects, and they're not like opposing each other, but they have different levels of detail and abstraction. There are two additional points. So between step one and step two, so defining the roles and filling them in, there are two side blocks, that's how you can visualize it, that can help you, and it can actually be more like a circular or a organic growth of ideas, where on one side you can tap into specific role models that you have. So let's say if you are a father and you want to be a good father, you might say, I like certain things that my father did. Maybe not, right? Maybe it's a different person, maybe it's someone you saw on TV, maybe it's a fictional character from a book That's all perfectly fine. It does not matter. But real characters or persons are easier to imitate than just simple ideas or phrases like loyalty. Like, what does that mean, right? If you have a specific person, a role model that inhibits those values, it's directly linked and it's easier for you to understand, because this personal mission is not going to be published anywhere. It's important that you understand what it means. You can basically pick the things that are the most important to you. And it's also a realization of, okay, what are the things that are really important to me? What would the perfect person that I can come up with be like? That is basically the question. So one block is the role models, the other block is your beliefs and values. And there is, of course, a lot of overlap between roles, role models, beliefs, and values, but these separate blocks can sometimes really help you to trigger you and manifest you. So to the bit more simplified version, that maybe the word loyalty can mean a lot to you. So you can just write down loyalty is an important value for me, or honesty, or integrity. So with these 4 blocks, so defining what roles are there, how would I like to fill in those roles, using role models and values, you can create a nice overview. And the whole practice is very much meditative, I would say. There's a lot of reflection going on. You can do it in a notebook, you can do it on Word, whatever you like. I like to do it in Word because I tend to edit a lot. Go through the steps 1 and 2 with the side blocks, and once you feel like you've managed to write down enough content, maybe take a break or on a separate day, or if you're really in the flow, try to summarize that down to a more concrete mission. So what I want to do now is to read to you a small part of my personal mission. I did not prepare this well, so I just realized it's written in Dutch. So I will try to kind of translate that on the go. So this is my summarized version of, let's say, the high level idea. I want to help people. And I want to create things that wouldn't have been there without me. I want to be there for my friends and family. I take my work and my actions seriously, but I also know that work is not the goal in itself. I want to find a balance between order and chaos. I want to be independent. I want to have confidence, but not arrogance. I want to assume a mutual trust and interest in my relationships. I value loyalty and trust a lot. I want to do things that I want to do, regardless of if people will see the result or not, but because I know that it is good. I want to be able to admit my mistakes and learn from them. I don't want to make decisions based on fear, but because of conviction. So this is the first couple of sentences from my personal statement. You see there are really a lot of statements. It's not necessarily a super coherent story, but these are all sentences that do resonate with me, and they paint a certain picture. I feel that it's more honest and more humble also to say that, to admit that it's just an intention. It's not the case that I'm doing all these things already. It's just a kind of ideal, the image that I value, let's say, that I'm aiming towards, not necessarily the person that I am. So it's my mission, it's not the state that I'm in. I hope that this gives you a bit of an idea of what you could end up with. And then I also have a list of core values. So it's honesty, trust, humbleness, curiosity, and love. Those are my core values. All right. So now I really want to put it into practice to make it very clear for you guys how you could do it. What does it really look like in practice? So step 1, as we know, is know your roles, basically, right? So I need to write down what are the roles that I want to fill in. So I will just write down roles. Oops. And I will make a list of those roles. And just from the top of my mind, I do like to have the human being role. It feels also a bit like creating your character for D&D. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but it's a bit like that basically. So you can just create your dreamed of character. And yeah, so I'm a human being. I'm a brother, I'm son, uncle. Let's say partner. So these are some roles. Then I'm an employee. So I work for a company. I would say I'm a friend. So now you see like I have a complete list, or let's say for now this is my complete list. You can think about it more, and you can also revise this list whenever you want, right? There's no deadline. It's a meditative practice, like I mentioned before. So now I have a list of things, of roles that I want to fill in that are part of my being on this planet. And now I can take one of these and try to explain what it means to me, or what would be the ideal way to fill this role in. So I was just trying to edit my recordings from earlier, and I realized that I made a small yet significant mistake, which was I did not record the sound with my last screen recording, so I have to redo that. I took one of the items from the list that I created in step 1. In this case it was partner. I tried to fill in that part of the role. I tried to use the separate blocks that I discussed to make it more clear how you can use them. So I literally just wrote down values, and for me the values of the best kind of partner that you can think of would be loyalty, supportive, fun, trusting, commitment, and romance. I think is a very important part in being a good partner. And then for the role models, I wrote down my parents and a friend couple, which I didn't want to name by name for their privacy, but I find it very inspiring how they interact with each other. And if I'm thinking about how I want to behave in my own relationship, then I can really think, what would they do in this situation? So someone who is loyal and can be trusted, someone that is reliable, but also someone to have fun with, someone who takes care of his appearance, someone who is dedicated to the relationship, someone who comes up with small surprises now and then, and who doesn't forget the important days and celebrations. So that's where kind of the romance part comes in. Someone who tries to learn from the other person, someone who makes sure the other person is comfortable, someone who tries to meet their partner's physical and psychological needs. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think I did a good job in summarizing the key values that are important for me, and I kept in mind the people which are my role models in this specific role. So at this point I could decide to also write more content for the other roles and then summarize that into a package of the full person that I would like to be. But I think for the purpose of this video, I will stop here. I hope that I gave you at least a general outline of what a personal mission is, and how you can try to start and write that for yourself. I tried to separate that into building blocks, and I've given you a couple of examples of how I am implementing that myself. If anything is still not clear, or you have any questions, please let me know. You can write in the comments any question and I will try to answer that. And I hope you have a wonderful day.